Americade, May 27th through the 30th. That's up at Lake George, New York. Then, of course, the granddaddy of them all, June 13th through the 21st. That's Laconia, which I plan on be doing a live broadcast from up in Laconia. So make sure you come out and see me there. We're going to be at the Loudon Speedway, and we're going to be with Seacoast Indian Motorcycles at their booth doing a live show there. And then, of course, Sturgis, the one that eludes me every year, August 7th through the 16th, the one I just can't get to. I am taking donations. I'm only kidding.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, because it's such an expensive ride. First of all, you got to set at least 2 weeks aside. It's a 10-day run. You need to have at least 4 days of driving minimum.
Right.
Maybe 3 each way, which is probably the way I'd do it. You got to bring the bike, so there's a lot of gas.
Sure.
And then when you get there, just to rent a hotel room, it's like $2,500 for the week.
That's why you need a toy hauler. You have the pickup truck.
Yeah.
You get a toy hauler. You drag the camper up there, park at their campground, pull the bike out, have a grand old time.
Yeah, the campground to go up there is the big buffalo chip. That's the biggest one up there. And yeah, it's called the buffalo chip.
It probably smells like buffalo chips. Yeah.
It's probably the biggest party you'll ever see.
Yeah.
It's 24 hours a day of bands, food, and beer, because we know how bikers like their beer.
Wow. And yeah, I don't know where all that beer comes from, but God bless them. That sounds like an amazing time.
Well, it's funny because I did a little investigating on how much beer is sold at Sturgis.
Yeah.
Ready for this?
Right.
3.5 million cases of beer.
In like 1 week?
In 10 days.
10 days.
3.5 million cases.
I wonder what that per capita consumption is like. It's probably like 6-7 cases each, right?
Per day.
Well, yeah. So how many people go there?
Over 200,000, 300,000.
Yeah, so you do the math,
2.5
million cases. Yeah, so that's 10 cases per person.
Yeah, okay. Well, and if you get greedy, you can get an extra one. That doesn't even include the beer on tap that's up there.
Oh, okay, so that's only case beer.
Yeah, tap beer is a whole nother industry. They go through probably, I'm sure, at least 100,000 taps of kegs.
Yeah. And those are, I think they're about 7 or 8 cases each.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's another 800,000 cases.
And believe it or not, there's not that many drunk driving incidents up there. They do have the few.
They're too drunk to even get on their bike.
Just like Laconia, you got power drinkers who want to go out and drink, and they don't care if they're riding their motorcycles. They get in accidents. There's a few accidents every year at every bike run.
Right.
But for what they have up there and how many people go there, I mean, it is literally the biggest bike run.
Sounds phenomenal.
And Buffalo Chip is just one of the spots. There's over 100,000 campers there.
Man, can you imagine?
And they have...
That must go on for miles and miles.
Oh, it's huge. They have tent sites, and then they have sites where you can pull up your RV, and if you don't have an RV or a tent, you can actually rent a little lodge.
Right.
A little cabin they put up there.
Yeah, those are probably pricey.
If the cabins don't have water, no showers, you have to use the communal showers. This is why I'd go up there in my own camper if I had one from
That's right.
Campers in RV.
There you go.
A nice toy hauler.
Some level of civility when you're done partying all day. It's like, I want to be able to use the bathroom and take a shower in my own RV.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah. I went camping with you guys. Actually, I didn't go camping with you. I went camping with my sister.
But I happen to be there.
You just happened to be there. You guys doing that same event this year?
We are doing that same event.
Let's hear about it.
Yeah, let me pull it up. It's in June. It's the Grand Design Rally, and I have a feeling there's maybe like 3 or 4 sites left. But let me check my calendar here.
And it's not a campground. It is a camping resort.
Yeah, it's a camping resort at, what is it called? Normandy Farms in Foxborough. And it's going from June 10th through the 14th. And when you sign up for this, it's a little bit pricey, but they include many meals. I'm talking breakfast, lunch, and dinner on most days. There's a lot of great vendors that come out there. So they have people that can reseal your roof on the fly. They can change your whole suspension system if that's what you're into. They can give you a new hitch or whatever it may be. And the Grand Design techs are going to be there as well. And those guys will be there with their toolboxes, with their parts truck full. And they'll be able to adjust and make adjustments and fix little things on the fly. No problem. They're amazing.
I should go up there with my new company. I started my own power wash company called Solar Suds,
Oh, there you go.
and I specialize in solar panels. I do it the way the factories do it, so there's no discrepancy. There's no scratching of your panels. A lot of these people that are out there cleaning them right now, they're using power washes, which is the wrong way to do it, and they use scrub brushes, which is the wrong way to do it. If you scratch that filament, the little coating over them,
Yeah.
you ruin the panel.
Well, I didn't realize that, and I busted my chops trying to get the tree sap off my solar panel last year, and I just hope I didn't damage it because my goodness, that wasn't fun.
I have a special way of doing it.
Well, dude, you definitely should be on there. Are you? Oh, is this an April Fool's joke?
No, this is not April Fool's. Even though it is April Fool's, I did plan on doing some, but I decided I wasn't gonna.
You got
tease
overridden
my
by
listeners because they're just so, they're just so committed to my show. I didn't want to hurt their feelings and be like, "Gotcha." But no, this is a true thing. I started my own company called Solar Suds,
Nice.
and I was thinking maybe I'll go out there and clean RVs for the week.
Why don't you get on that? I'll send you the link later on, but why don't you, look up New England Grand Design Owners Rally and get in. If there's a site left, hop on it, and people will love you to death. And I mean, you'll make more than your money's worth back, and then some, and plus the free food.
And they don't have to. They don't even have to move their camper. I have a whole mobile unit that fits in the back of my truck, and I just pull up right beside your camper, clean your camper down,
Right.
make it pretty, and off I go. You clean the inside, but I'll clean the outside.
Wow. So, yeah. Well, we'll talk a little bit later because my wife doesn't want to come this year. My nephew has got his job full-time down in Washington, D.C., so who knows? Maybe you could be my bunkmate
There we go.
and go from there.
And we can do that video we keep talking about, camping with Bernie and the Wolfman.
Exactly. No, that'd be a lot of fun. My colleague Mark's going to be there with his 2 golden retrievers. My other colleague Toby's going to be there as well. It should be a real good time. What I loved most about that visit over there in Normandy Farms is that they have a pub crawl one night, and there's about a dozen or so of the attendees that set up a pub at their campsite, and they give you snacks and booze, and they're all themed differently.
That's
some,
cool.
Yeah, there's so much. Some are Caribbean, some are Irish pubs, some are whatever German, whatever, and all this wonderful stuff. And it's free of charge. People that donate their time and money and food to do that. Yeah.
I did something like that a couple years ago up in Maine. It was the Maine State Riders Association put on East Coast Sturgis.
Oh wow!
And everybody had their own themed campers. One guy had nothing but hot tubs out in front of his camper, and people just lining up to get in them hot tubs. They had big mud bogs and burnout shows and live concerts every night, giant bonfire every night.
That sounds like quite an event.
And if you've never experienced camping, get out.
Yeah.
Go try it. It's actually really fun.
Yeah,
Bring the bug juice because
Yeah.
you're gonna get bit.
Oh yeah, we get a lot of bikers that I see out in the campgrounds where we are, and you know what? People is like, oh, I don't want a motorcycle at the campground; it's going to disturb everybody. You know what? When they're doing like 10 RPMs and just kind of coasting around or whatever,
they're
it's
pretty quiet.
It's not loud. Like they're really courteous, and yeah, you don't hear anyone going blap blap at 4 a.m.
Unless
yeah.
the Wolfman's out there.
Yeah, unless you're out there causing trouble.
I just wanted to make notation to everybody that if you're looking at my screen on the websites there, the WSMN.live and the Facebook feeds and the YouTube feeds, you will see the new Apollo launch going on up in the left-hand side of it. We have an active live picture of that rolling. I like that.
Well, the last Apollo was in 1972. This is actually an Orion spacecraft,
Yep.
and it's the Artemis II mission. So,
And it's the first manned craft since back in the day.
yeah, back in the 70s.
To the moon.
And they're going to do a drive-by. They're going to go around and use the gravitational pull to kind of snap them back and send them back to Earth. And, I mean, I love physics, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing what they can do.
Can you imagine that drive-by with the thumping bass? and nobody's there to hear it except for the moon people?
That's right. Well, in pretty soon, they're saying like by the 2030s, they should be doing a slingshot out to Mars. So I'm really curious to see how that's all going to shake out. If I'm still around, I hope so.
You realize it takes over a year to get there?
Yeah.
And that's at full speed.
That's right.
Somebody needs
That's
to,
a long road trip. I hope they have a gas station on the way where they can stop and.
somebody needs to invent the warp drive engine so we can get there in a matter of seconds.
Right. And I'm sure Elon's crew's going to figure it out sooner or later. He is so progressive when it comes to stuff like that. He's so far advanced. He's working on projects that people never even dreamed were considered possible.
Do you think he's from the future?
Yeah, I think he's an alien for sure, because he's creating things that you'd only see on Star Trek, right? And he's doing it now. So I have a feeling probably within 50 years, warp drive will be a reality.
I was kind of hoping when I was growing up, because, I was watching the Jetsons back then, and there were supposed to be flying cars and moving sidewalks and dogs that walk themselves and all that. But, today's technology, we have all that.
Yeah, I mean, they have the moving sidewalks. They're just in malls, typically.
Malls and airports.
Yeah, right.
They have flying cars. There's a company in Sudbury that's been building them for a year. They're $250,000 each. You have to have a pilot's license, but you drive it out of your driveway just like a car, and up you go. And then now with the drone technology, you see them doing that with motorcycles. I don't know if you've seen that on the internet. They're putting these big drone engines on motorcycles and lifting them, and they can drive on a motorcycle. And that's the one I want.
Oh, there you go.
A flying motorcycle. That'd be cool.
That'd be very cool. I don't know. It sounds like it'd be hard to balance it, so they have to counterbalance it quite a bit because you don't have the road to kind of keep you sturdy.
No, it's set up just like a drone. The 4 motors on each corner.
Yeah.
And it goes right up and flies off pretty simple using drone technology.
Yeah, I'm sure that would be actually it'd be a fun thing to do with I don't know. Yeah, it'd be a fun thing to do with like tricks and stuff like that. So if you have a drone motorcycle, you could do loop-de-loops and all kinds of fun things to kind of keep that interesting, and you have competitions.
Amy just came in here and said the FCC has canceled my license for now due to past content, and I have to get up and leave.
Oh my God! What?
That's what they're saying, and you know what I say to the FCC? F you.
F you, FCC. It was
April Fool.
Oh, April Fools. I thought I was going to get the whole show. That was like, oh my God.
You were like, I got me a new show.
I think I'm coming here every Wednesday morning.
And speaking of April Fool, I have some history of April Fool.
Oh, cool.
Some of the best jokes. In 1957, the Swiss spaghetti harvest broadcast. They reported a Swiss family harvesting spaghetti from the trees. The reporter's name was Richard Dimley. Delivered it with such a straight face and accompanied it with a Swiss harvesting spaghetti tree. Hundreds of people called into the channel and wanted to know where they could find some spaghetti trees.
So what was that guy's name again?
Richard Dimbley.
Dimbley. Yeah, the whole town is Dimbley. Didn't recognize that.
So apparently back in 1957, they were all very gullible.
Yeah, absolutely.
In 1996, and I remember this, Taco Bell took out full-page ads across the country saying they purchased the Liberty Bell and they were going to rename it the Taco Liberty Bell. Even the government's officials were duped by that one.
Oh, my God. That's funny.
1980, Big Ben. I remember this one, too. Boy, I'm showing my age now.
Yeah.
The BBC announced that they were going to give Big Ben a facelift and change the analog clock to a digital clock. Of course, everybody wasn't happy about that.
Of course.
1976, a British astronomer, Patrick Moore, told radio listeners that a rare planetary alignment would cause gravity to decrease and allow them to float. Several listeners called in saying they feel lighter, and many of them tied themselves to trees, cars, and are we really that gullible?
Well, you remember the one that turned bad on a lot of people is that H.G. Wells read The War of the Worlds
and
live on the radio and scared the bejesus out of so many people that some people jumped out of windows and stuff.
That was amazing that he did that in that time, and people, because we're a dumb nation. I got news for people. We believe a lot that we shouldn't be believing.
Yeah, I think he had sound effects and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've heard the broadcast. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's really sounded like we were being invaded.
Yeah. Wow.
Have you ever seen the movie?
I have. I've seen the new one with Tom Cruise, and I saw the old one as well. And I remember, everyone just turned into dust with that big eye coming out from behind the rocks and stuff like that. And, it was actually pretty frightening to watch as a 10-year-old.
You were 10?
I would think I was about 10. Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the black and white version.
Yeah, yeah. So, and it was probably a replay too, because that was I was 10 in 1971. So,
Well, the funny part, did you like the one with Tom Cruise? I thought that was very well done.
yeah, it was very well done for sure. Yeah,
And I've seen it a couple of times. I like the way they creeped through the basement and saw he hid behind the mirror and it looked at itself. Okay, you're one of me, and then turned around and left.
yeah, yeah.
So,
A lot of strategy there. Yeah.
and I got one more for you.
What do you got?
1974, the eruption of Mount Edgecombe. A man named Oliver Bakar placed 70 tires in an Alaskan volcano crater and set them on fire on April 1st, sparking that the dormant volcano was erupting.
Oh my God.
Talk about worldwide panic. Oh my God, especially up in Alaska. It's so cold. Where are you going to go?
Yeah, yeah. Kind of stuck, and it can do a lot of damage up there for sure. It'd bother Russia and bother, United States and Canada and all that other stuff.
Yeah, Russia wants Alaska back.
Oh, really?
They want it back. We're not giving it back.
No.
Too much oil.
Oh, yeah. Alaska ain't going anywhere. Yep.
So we're getting into spring, Bernie.
Spring has sprung.
Especially today, it's going to be 70 degrees out there.
Yep.
And people are already looking at what am I going to do this year. And camping comes to mind. There's a lot of things to do during spring camping.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the garage. I put my jacket in my car. It's like, yeah, we'll see how it goes. And then I step out over here, and I'm like, holy mackerel. I'm in short sleeves, and it feels great. I should have probably wore shorts.
Yeah, I came up here. It was cold out, and I get in here. I'm like, oh, my God, it's hot in here. I went out this morning. It was cold. And when I left my house, it was kind of warm. I got my hoodie on from Daytona Beach.
Yep, yep.
It's an alligator, and the saying is, please send another biker. They're delicious.
Yep, I'm sure that happens a lot down there.
You don't see the alligators down there as much as you think you would.
Guys and gals, don't hang around the swamps alone. Like, make sure you go to a fenced area.
Alligators are afraid of cats
Really?
because their little sharp claws can get through their tough hides.
Oh, like under the scales or whatever? Yeah.
If you Google cat versus alligator, you'll see the alligator run every time, and the cat's like, yep, I got you. It's pretty funny because the biggest alligators go up to cats, and cats are not afraid of anything.
Oh, yeah. And they're faster than anything on the planet, when it comes to, reaction time and all that stuff.
Well, I did an investigative report on that a while ago, and a cat versus a snake, and apparently cats are 100 times faster than a snake.
And snakes are fast.
And if a snake goes to strike a cat, odds are it never got close. The cat moves so fast that you just can't tell. It's that fast.
Yeah, the cat can react and like bite it in the back of the head or whatever, and they win that fight every time. It's amazing, these little furry things that you're so docile or whatever, and man, when it comes time to get her done, those cats can move.
Yep. And I want to congratulate my boy Harrison Gigliotti. He's a professional knuckle boxer. He won his first match in 2 rounds. He just switched company. He was doing an overseas company. Now he came here and is doing it in America. Hopefully someday we'll get him in here again.
Yeah.
Well, get him in here. I tried to get him in here before, but his schedule's so full. He's a good guy. I used to work with him, and he took his lumps in the first round and almost got knocked out and came back mad and beat the guy in less than 49 seconds.
Oh, wow. I mean, I didn't even know that sport was still active. I thought that was just something that you saw in a dark alley somewhere.
No, it actually was done down in Mohegan.
Oh, wow. Knuckle boxing at Mohegan.
Yeah, bare knuckle boxing.
Whew.
And they basically tape their hands up and go. There's no gloves. It's crazy, and it's a lot of blood.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine so. Whew. And, yeah, you got to be able to recover quickly to keep that, schedule up for sure.
Now, he's pretty fast.
Yeah.
And trains hard, and good for him. Congratulations on your first fight. He's a 3-time world champion in bare knuckle boxing. So he's going to take America by storm. He's still a young fella.
So where was he before?
He was doing overseas, Britain and Japan and all
like
those.
Like a European kind of thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the one is BKFG or something like that. I think that's his company now that he's with. They just bought him, and he's in there fighting.
That is amazing. That is a tough sport for sure. So, what's going on in the bike world? Is there something coming up? I know there's not much going on around here this weekend,
We have
but what are some of the big events that people should be getting ready for and looking forward to?
Well, I already said that. Myrtle Beach,
Oh yeah, yeah. But
Americade.
but that's this weekend, right?
No, that's May 8th, I think.
Oh, oh yeah. Sorry.
And we got Americade coming up, and of course, Big Daddy of them all, Laconia, the oldest one around.
Right.
And
So, yeah, I mean, as far as like, I know when I come in sometimes in the summertime or later spring, you have like 3 or 4 events going on a weekend when it comes to like charitable rides and all that stuff.
well, yeah, we got a lot of charitable rides. Those are local runs, and we appreciate all the support we get for that. Just like the Special Olympic ride, we
Yeah,
do
like
with
the Elk Riders
Clubs.
or whatever. Yeah.
The Elk rides, which I'm stepping away from because my work schedule and all the stuff that they do, I can't mix them. It's not working out for me, so I have to step away from the Elk Riders for a while, which I'm okay with. I met a lot of great people in there. Brains being one. He's my little garden gnome. We have Sonny Goodspeed, who's a former professional wrestler. He's a
Oh yeah, I know that guy. Yeah.
Yep, he's also a New England Hall of Famer. His tag team name was Chunky and Funky.
Yeah, I see him down there once in a while.
Yeah, we have Wayne, who's the former president, and he's now the exalted Grand Poobah of the Elk, not the Elk,
Like New
the
England
Elks.
or
No,
New
of the
Hampshire?
Elks 720.
Oh, okay,
he's
yeah.
stepping down from that because life in general takes over.
It sure does.
We have a lot of people we met through there, a lot of great people, and then we have the Garden Gnome.
Yeah.
You've met the Garden Gnome. Brains.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah, at any rate, yeah, great bunch of people over there. If you are an enthusiast, it wouldn't be a bad idea to join the Elks. So they do so much charitable work, not just with the Elks Riders, but with other foundations. They have a lot of their own foundations that they run, and it's all about supporting the military, children in school, getting scholarships for kids, and
Yeah,
and just
30
getting food and like toys for the homeless and
Last year, $30 million in scholarships for children.
that's amazing.
More than the government ever has done.
Right, and I'll tell you, and the Nashua Elks actually has the highest per capita donation rate in the country. Like,
Really?
so, yeah, it's just amazing.
Yeah, and if you're interested in them, you can go down there on Murphy Drive here in Nashua, go meet the fellas, and join up. It's a great thing.
So you don't have to just hand them cash either. Like that's not what it's all about. You work these functions to raise money and or buy a couple of beers. That actually helps all those organizations, believe it or not.
Well,
And-
they just did this past weekend. They just did breakfast with the Easter Bunny.
yeah.
Now I was involved in that last year. They did breakfast with Santa. I was involved in that last year and this year. And they do a lot. And then they also sponsored the Easter Seals Special Olympics ride for Mike Wilson.
Yep.
And we have a couple of gold medalists in the Riders Club
Wow.
for the Special Olympics.
That's fantastic. It's an amazing group of people, and they're always so gracious, so friendly. Everyone knows each other by name. It's just a good bunch of folks, and they're always just open to. You don't have to be a certain type of person to join
Right.
the Elks, right?
No, and then they have hot dog night on Wednesdays and fish fries on Thursday and pizza bakes on Friday and
Seafood on Friday, pizza on Thursday.
Oh, so I flip it to
Yeah, you flipped it up. Yeah, but that's yes, it's amazing, and they keep that they call it the lounge area open on Saturday lunch. They'll have lunch there too, like off a small menu, and but everyone is pitching in. And unbelievable. What a group of people.
Yeah, great group of people. They got pool table. They have darts. They have electronic gaming machines.
And for those who still do that sort of thing like yourself, they have a smoking room.
Yep.
And
You can actually smoke in the building.
yeah, in this special room with the smoke cleaners and all that stuff is in there. They had to design that special, under the new rules when they switched from the old building to the new building. Yeah.
So they do a lot for the community. So don't forget those guys. Go down. If you can't join, at least make a donation.
Absolutely. Or just have a beer. That's a donation, believe it or not. Yeah.
So we have Laconia coming up in June.
That is amazing.
Now, you being from the camper world, do you know a good campsite up there for people to go to?
Well, I'm gonna have to look that up, and then you can post it on your Facebook page a little bit later on. But a lot of them are seasonal up there, meaning people park their camper there for the whole season, and they hang out. Now, but there's got to be some transient camping in the area.
For all you transients.
Yeah, but they call it transient. And I know it's almost like a derogatory term, but it's really not. It's just this the people that go from different campgrounds to different campgrounds. But with that being said, I mean, where do people typically stay? I mean, I know they have a lot of rentals, but they don't have that many rentals available.
No, there's about 100,000 people that will show up there this year, if
Right.
not more. And I know there are a couple campgrounds. There's one up by the Speedway. The Speedway has their own campground too.
Right.
At that time, they're running motorcycle races, and you'll see motorcycles going around the Speedway track, which is kind of cool.
Wow.
And they're doing those real sharp S turns at almost 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, that
I did it last year. I went up to the Speedway last year with the Macros ride, and we got to go around the track, and we were on the outside of the track, which was easy. And then they say, okay, we're going to take a dive into the inside of the track. Now, I got a 1,000-pound bike, and I'm going around this. I'm like, ooh, I'm doing fast. I look down, I'm doing like 35. I'm like, wow, I thought I was doing much faster than that because it's just so much turning. And it was fun. It was about 100 of us on that at the same time, so I was always worried about crashing into somebody or somebody crashing into me. But it was pretty much held at a certain speed, so we all got through it.
Well, I was watching some of that last week. On Sunday morning, you get to watch all the cool stuff. They had like a Grand Prix track that they were using for motorcycle racing, and these people are laying down,
all the way to their knees.
all the way like within an inch, or they're probably touching most of the time, but they're going flipping it back and forth and back and forth. My wife says, I can't watch this. Someone's gonna die. I'm like, these people are incredibly high skilled.
I've seen them go down, and they just slide. They slide right behind the bike. They sit up. They got these special suits that have metal plates in them,
Yeah,
so they don't get
the
road
friction
rash.
points.
Yep.
Yeah,
And you sit there and watch them just slide across the thing. And it's like, wow, that looks like fun.
and you see them bumping each other and pieces falling off. I'm like, yeah, these guys, this is an aggressive, dangerous sport. You never realize that when you're a kid watching this stuff. It's like, oh, that's cool. And now I'm looking at it like, oh, my God.
I believe, like, on the professional field, the lead rider, the guy with the most wins, is probably making $25 million before his sponsorships.
Wow.
It's crazy. And they all have to have sponsors to run those bikes. Those bikes are technological marvels.
Oh, yeah.
Then
They need to be highly engineered.
and they have more than one. They probably have about a 6-pack of motorcycles in that truck that they can switch out for certain road conditions and stuff like that. Because every track is not the same.
Right. Right. And it is kind of probably run more like an F1 event, where you have all these mechanics and everything, and they make them on-the-fly changes of a motor or
Master
something.
mechanics or pit crews are crazy because they do pull into the pits, believe it or not. Change a tire. I don't know if you've ever seen them do a 4-tire car change in the Formula Ones. They get that done in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, like 2.7 seconds. Yeah, there was an IndyCar last week that ended up. It took him like 12 seconds, and the driver ended up in third place, and he was in first place because they couldn't get the bolt on for the rear tire, and it's just like tried. But usually, it's like 2.7 seconds out of there.
Yeah.
But and even NASCAR is pretty fast. It's like 5 seconds or 6 seconds. It's pretty quick. They can do a lot.
Yeah, you see the 4 or 5 guys jump over the wall. They get one guy jacks the car up, the other one comes out with the big pulls off the tires, throws on a new tire. Another guy's filling up the gas tank, and the other guy's, hey, you want some water?
Yeah. Well, you have, they were interviewing a defensive linebacker or something like that, and he's in the pit crew, and my wife's like, why would he do that? I'm like, you wouldn't believe how strong and fast those guys have to be. It's like you are playing NFL, like you're picking up this 80-pound wheel and tire, and you're running over a wall, and then grabbing a wrench over your shoulder at the same time and banging us all out in just 2 seconds. So it's like, you have to be in rock star shape. And I was amazed watching the NASCAR last year because I was kind of right in the pit area, and the amount of calisthenics and exercises that these guys went through to get ready for that 5 seconds.
Yeah, and they have to keep limbered up and warm because, your body can breaking in a million pieces in a heartbeat.
Right. You just push the wrong way, and in your hammy pulls when you're in the middle of one of those things, you're useless. Yeah.
So you do a lot of NASCAR stuff.
Well, I like following it anyway. But it was definitely very exciting at the track. As far as watching it online. It's like bumper cars. It's amazing how many times these guys are bumping into each other. As they
I go to the
track.
races to see the crashes.
Yeah, see them in real life. Yeah.
Yeah, have you been over to Hudson Speedway?
I haven't been to Hudson, but growing up, I used to go to Thompson Speedway
Down in Connecticut.
Yeah. That was near my house. So
They do the
it has a small track.
24-hour lemon race.
Oh my God!
And I would like to do this, but you need a crew of 4 people. And your car can't cost you more than $500, and you have to keep it running for 24 hours straight. It has to be going around that track for 24 hours, and you got to switch out drivers and stuff.
$500.
And it's a big circuit now. They go all around. They do it up in Loudon. They do it down in Thompson Speedway, and several others, and they just travel the whole circuit. And at the end of the year, whoever gets the most points wins.
It's kind of like the Harlem Globetrotter kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would imagine it's
Well,
pretty comical.
They dress their cars up in costume too, and then they dress themselves up to match their cars.
Oh my goodness!
And some cars make it, some cars don't. The 2 main prizes is whoever wins and whoever comes in last. Whoever gets over that finish line last, because the car stayed running, you get some type of prize.
Right, you deserve it. Yeah, for sure.
And they have them from 4 cylinders all the way up to 8 cylinders. I mean, I think it would be a cool thing to get into. I think it would be funny. Yeah, I've looked it up online a couple times, and yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. But 24 hours straight of driving.
Yeah, you're a mechanic, so you can buy the car for $500 and make
Away
some
you go.
adjustments.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to knock out the glass except for the windshield, pull out all the seats, put a roll cage in, and I think that's the fine. And move the fuel cell, the fuel tank into the trunk, or away from where
You
it's
might
at.
want to clean the carburetor or something. I don't know.
Well, you're gonna want to make it ride right.
Yeah.
And you only need to do left turns, so it's not. You don't really need too much of a front end alignment. If it's already turning left, you're good.
Now I notice a lot of those, like the right side tires are kind of angled out quite a bit.
That's because the track is tilted.
Yeah. So how do you do that? How do you change
It's
that camber?
It's a toe and camber. It's underneath. You just got to do an adjustment on the right side to bring the camber up.
Right. So you have to. Do you need to use like spacers or anything, or is it just just adjustment?
It's just adjustments.
Oh wow.
And you do that on your regular street car. You see these guys going down the road now with these little tuner cars where the tires are tilted all the way in and running on the sidewall. It's like, why would you do that?
So as a kid, I'd see that Mercedes, the bigger sedans, not so much nowadays because they probably have like electronic variable adjusted suspension or whatever. They have like servos under there.
Yeah.
But back then, yeah, if you picked one up on a lift, you'd see the tires go out.
Bonk.
Oh,
Yeah.
they come in. Yeah. So they got and they're just like holding that lateral, acceleration in check. Yeah.
Old Volkswagen Bugs used to do that.
Yeah.
And it's all the way they set it up.
Yep.
But this is about the time of day I call out all my listeners to see who's watching. Of course, we have Mama Wolfman and Mrs. Wolfman. We have Troy Saunders and Gina Walker. There's just a few of these people that are watching the show today. Good morning to you all.
Yeah.
Hello, Troy. He was here last week with a very, very nice female firefighter who gave us her perspective. If you didn't get a chance to watch it back in my old feed, in last week's feed. You'll like the show. Yeah, I put them up there so people, in case they don't see it, they can come back to it. So camping, that's what you're here for. Basically, we like to camp.
We do like to camp. Yep. So last year I had the blessing of going down to my nephew's graduation party down in Washington, D.C., and my wife and I camped about 10 miles out of town.
Because there's no camping in Washington.
Not in Washington, but let me tell you, they actually had a bus stop at the campground to bring you into town.
Oh, that's very convenient.
Extremely convenient. And it was a city bus stop, and you got about halfway there, and then they dumped you off at the tram or whatever they call it down there, like the train station. Yeah. And then, this was probably about a half hour all in to get down there. But they're stopping at a few different places to pick up other people. But man, that was amazingly convenient, and dropped us off right down by that main plaza area, which is that huge grassy area in D.C. And
The Washington Mall.
the mall, yeah, the mall, yeah, yeah. Sorry about
Where
that.
there are no stores.
Yeah, there's no stores at the mall. Yeah,
That's where Forrest Gump ran out and met Jenny in the big water there.
yep.
Jenny.
Yeah, so they have that reflection pool, and we were right at the base of the Washington Monument where they had the graduation, right on the mall. So that was an amazing event, to say the least.
And you camped. You took the missus with you.
Yeah, and we didn't go back into town every day. Like, it was a little bit of a haul. It's about a 9-hour drive with the towing. So with that being said, yeah. I mean, it was nice to just hang back at the campground, and one thing that was there that was extra special is there was a good community of people that had the American Coach RVs, which are really high-end RVs, but for some reason there was several of them, and you rarely see that many in the same place because they're like $1 million a piece.
Yeah, those are like the big buses that have the pop-outs, and some of them have cars and stuff underneath them.
Yeah. But it just so happened, and a lot of them had red, white, and blue paint jobs, too. So they're a very patriotic group that was camping there. So that was wonderful.
Do you find that campers are patriotic?
I do find that. A lot of them have their flags out, and a lot of them are ex or current military. And in general, the typical ideology is very, patriotic in general. Yeah.
And do you find campgrounds safe for children?
Absolutely. So that's one thing that people that are new to camping
worry about.
Yeah, that live in rural, not rural, but urban communities, or like close suburban communities. They tend to be a little bit paranoid. Like, it's hard to say hi to your neighbor and stuff like that. And then, when you realize that, you're sitting there with your child and he may be 7 or 8 years old and he's kind of poking at the fire, he's kind of bored or whatever. And then 7 or 8 kids come over and say, hey, can your son come play with us? And you can tell that they're all from different families already. And the neighbor just nods like it's okay. And all of a sudden, you start to become part of this community. Then those people come over, so mom and dad get to hang out with their new friends. The child's are hanging out with their new friends, and then a few hours later, they come back and have dinner.
And they're like, "Are you coming back next week?"
Yeah,
I find that
you become like, where are you going camping next? I want to meet up with you.
Yeah, and you become a camping community, and you travel to places that everybody else tries because you're new to camping, you have no clue where to go.
Right.
You're like, oh, well, this is the closest one to my house. Let's do this one first.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what happens, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just having your little away space, that's close by, and sometimes that ends up being your primary location. But part of camping is, meeting like-minded people or just people that are generally nice, very non-judgmental. Like I went over to the guy with the American Coach last year, and and he said, "Oh, you mind if I just step in? I just want to take a look at the outside. I'm into RVs and all this other stuff." And he just started shooting the baloney with me, telling me about the chassis and the motor and this, that, and the other thing.
He didn't realize who he was talking to.
Yeah. It's like I kind of knew most of it, but that's okay, But in general, he just thought I was just a camper in a little POS in the corner over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, sometimes I don't know if I'd want to get $1 million camper. Yeah, they're cool, but I want to. If I'm going out camping, I want to get closer to nature.
Yeah.
I think the only amenity I'd have in there is a shower,
right,
a bathroom.
It's amazing,
and a TV.
there are some extremists, a lot, actually more so than ever, and they're starting to build these. I call them like post-apocalyptic mobiles, but they're raised up.
I've seen those.
4-wheel drive.
They look bad.
Independent suspension. Look like they could take a hit from a mortar shell, but they have all the amenities that you would get in a really high-end RV inside. So you have a nice place to cook. You got recliners in there. You have a nice bedroom set up, and then you have all these cool technologies like the solar and the lithium and the inverters and water recycling on board and all that other stuff. Yeah, it's just amazing.
That's like the one that I saw. I got drawn to at Campers in
Oh
RV
yeah, that
over in
was one of
Merrimack.
those. Yeah, the Super C, and there's
I think it had a big Ram 4500 on the front.
5500. Yeah.
5500. That was beautiful. That's the one I wanted, but that's $350K.
Yeah, they get a little pricey, So good news is price has been coming down over the last year or so.
Can you drop that down to $500?
Yeah, a day.
A day. Yeah, because you're going to basically take literally a mortgage out on something that day.
not a day, but yeah, you probably do about like the one. I think the sale price was somewhere around $270 or whatever like that, and so you're talking with a decent down payment, like $50,000 or whatever, you'd be about $2,200 a month. So it is a mortgage. Yeah,
And you can take them out for basically as long as a mortgage, 20 to 30 years.
yeah, 20 years on those. So yeah, and here's the thing. If you're in a situation like Ray and I, right, we're getting a little bit older. And it's like time for us to
Slow down a little bit.
Slow down or do stuff that's more about you and your spouse, right?
Yeah.
Get involved with things that are going to really enrich your lives. We got to back away from working, 60 hours a week and this, that, and the other thing and start living our lives. And it's really hard to find a balance. But once you get into your 60s or whatever, hey, man, it's like the clock is ticking for good quality lifestyle.
Yeah, slow down from work and enjoy some of it.
Right.
And that's where I'm at because, I'm going to tell you right now, I have a very easy job. But they make me work 40 hours a week.
Yep.
Okay, and I need that to survive. That's why I started my company, Solar Suds.
Yeah.
And so hopefully I can walk away from that. Only have to work a few days a week.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you can get that Solar Suds thing going on, that's a big residential demand for that as well.
I do commercial and residential exterior cleaning, roofs and houses, sheds, garages, driveways, walkways. Okay, commercial-wise, if you got graffiti, I take graffiti off. If you have a fleet, let's say school buses or RVs, I come in, I clean those outsides of those. You guys can do the inside, but it makes your life a little bit easier, and your house looks wonderful. Your roof looks almost brand new, and solar panels, I'm the best there is. There's nobody better. I have been factory trained on how to clean those.
Fantastic.
Nobody's been factory trained. They go out and they start.
I haven't
brushes and
heard of
power.
that business model yet, so this is the first time, so I'm very excited about that.
So hopefully if you're out there, you can give me a call at 774-270-6698. I'll be more than welcome to come out and take care of your place.
If you got a card for that,
Yes,
make
I
sure
do.
you pass that along because I got customers like that would relish that service because they don't want to get on the roof and clean a vinyl
Well,
roof
most
or whatever.
people can't get on the roof. They get on the roof, they get vertigo. They're afraid of heights.
Yeah, they get dizzy and all that.
I'm a monkey, man. I'll climb right up on your house like, cheetah.
Yeah. But yeah, so many people have solar nowadays, and then there's a lot of people that don't want to clean their gutters either because they feel the same thing.
If I'm doing your roof, your gutters are free. I'll clean them while I'm up there because why not?
Right.
And I'll throw that right in as a free service because I'm doing your roof. And you'll have a clean roof, clean gutters, and ready for the spring and fall to drop stuff in it.
Yeah. That's coming, right? All that lacy yellow stuff that comes out. Oh, my God.
I used to hang gutters for a living, and I've seen so many gutters that look fine from the bottom because you can't see in the top, just so clogged up. Dead birds, balls. I even found fishing hooks in one once. I'm like, how did a guy get the fishing hooks up here? That was the one I just can't explain to this day. Fishing hooks in your gutter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, give me a call. No problem. I'll come out.
Cow. Yeah.
The hour goes by fast, doesn't it?
Oh, my goodness.
So what else is going on Campers Inn these days?
Yeah, Campers Inn. Well, we just had a big acquisition of Lazy Days where we added 10 stores.
Oh, my God. You're up to 60 now. 62?
52 stores.
52.
Yeah. Yeah. So, which is one of them was the largest, is still the largest RV dealership in the country, and that's right outside of Tampa in Cessna, Florida. So it has its own like 300 site campground. It has function facilities. It has 220 service bays.
Are you kidding me?
They got 400 employees working there.
Holy cow.
That is an RV dealership and a half. I think it's a couple hundred acres all in.
That is a RV compound.
It's an RV compound.
You have gun turrets up there to keep away the riffraff or what?
Yep, they keep over 2,000 RVs in stock for sale all the time.
Just to think, your company started from a mom and pop putting two pop-up trailers on their front lawn in Acton.
That's right. It's absolutely amazing.
That's a Cinderella story.
60 years ago, that all of that happened. Yeah.
And I've been there. You guys run it like a family. Everybody there knows everybody. They treat you like family when you walk in the door.
Right.
No high-pressure sales. It's
about what's important to you.
Yeah. And not only RVs, you got camping accessories and everything else.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So we can service the RV that you own now. If you need equipment or you want to make adaptations to your RV, a lot of people are upgrading things nowadays.
Like solar panels.
Like solar panels, for instance. So we have the skilled technicians to be able to handle that sort of thing.
That is so cool. You didn't silence your phone. You're in trouble now, mister.
I'm sorry. I just got so much going on right now. Yeah, it's all good. No big deal. But yeah, I'll be talking to family anytime soon.
Well, the one thing I like about camping, the best part of camping is sitting around the campfire at the end of the day. After you've done all your hiking, your swimming, your fishing, and the family comes get together for dinner over the barbecue grill, and then you all sit around that campfire.
That is the best. No matter what you did all day, that campfire is actually the best thing ever. That you're going to experience. And people don't get it like, you sit in front of a fire, blah, blah, blah. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's like the energy or whatever it is, the smell of the air and the moisture coming off the trees, the conversations that you have with people that you would never do on a regular basis. It's just
inviting your neighbor who we never met over and you guys share stories.
And you'd find out that they're the coolest people you ever met.
Yeah. And that's what I like about campgrounds. I also like how people dress their campers up when they get to their site. Some of them put up little white picket fences. And I was telling you about the one up at the main statewide fair for the motorcycles. Lady had pigs all around the house, and she had pigs off the top of her RV that had wings on it, so pigs can fly.
Wow. So we were at the Saco River Campground last year, the week before. It was Columbus Day weekend, so it was a couple of weeks before Halloween. But because they were closing, they had their Halloween that weekend. Some people had more than what people have on their houses at their campsite. I mean, 10 or 20 of those blow-up thingies and like things that you walk by with motion sensors that will come out and scare you.
The
and
dancing balloons. And
yeah. I mean, they had all kinds of stuff. The graveyard was all set up. Oh, my God, the music's playing already.
The music's playing already, and Amy's late. Here comes Shade. She's running in. I would like to thank you for coming in today, Bernie. Don't forget to visit Campers Inn RV over in Merrimack and 51 other locations nationwide.
That's right.
And any questions for that, you can call him. And that was the show, and thank you for joining. And don't forget to watch the Apollo mission takeoff, going and do a drive-by around the moon.
That's right. Can't wait.